Hi, I'm Holden. I was born on a beach while my mom and dad were backpacking through the world. They said I started swimming before I could even speak. All I know is that I love the ocean and I love spending every single day in it. I'm a surfer, and I guess that's why everyone at school underestimates me. They all see me as a stereotypical surfer dude who's always slow and too chill. Everyone thinks I'm dumb. While every guy at school was into typical teenage stuff like obsessing over their socials, their fit, their gadgets, or their cars, I was spending most of my time on the beach catching waves. My classmates called me a bum, and my relatives said I had no future. One afternoon, while I was waiting for the swell, I saw a shadow as a girl walked past me. Her name was Eloise Sanchez, and she was the most beautiful girl on campus. I'd always wished I had the courage to talk to her, but every time I saw her, she was with her friends, and they would always be laughing at me. Little did I know, the girls were on the beach that day out of boredom, and to cure it, they made a dare. Her girlfriends dared Eloise to hit on me, and I had no idea what I was in for when I saw her come up to me. She touched my surfboard and gasped in awe. "Oh my, do you carry this around with you all the time? You must have some huge muscles." She asked me so many questions about surfing. She sounded so impressed with every word that came out of my mouth. She even said she'd be interested in learning if I'd teach her how to surf. And honestly, I was so excited. My dream girl chatting me up and wanting to surf with me sounded like heaven. "Go on, show me your moves." I was beyond myself with joy. My crush was finally noticing me, and now I get to show off in front of her. I eagerly pulled out into the water, and I knew I was lucky that day when the water rose up behind me and a great big wave began to build. I stood on my board, rode the wave, and showed off with the best tricks and stunts I could do. People on the beach began to watch too, some of them cheering me on. Others were scared for me. The wave was gargantuan, and if it fell on top of me, I was sure to lose consciousness. I might even get pulled under and carried by the riptides. I rode through the huge pipeline as the wave began to crash, but I didn't mind the danger. All I cared about was that Eloise was watching. No, wait, she was on her phone. She totally didn't care. The wave collapsed in on itself with a thunderous boom, and I heard the collective gasp of the onlookers by the beach. And then, wild cheers and applause as I heroically zoomed through the white foam and cruised through the wave's crest. Nobody would have believed I survived that pipeline, but I came out of it so smooth. I was able to ride that wave all the way to shore. People were applauding, but Eloise was still texting whoever, and this time she was sitting with her girlfriends. What did you think? Huh? Oh, you're back. Why? Did you really think I was interested one tiny bit? It was a dare, you idiot. And now you can go back to being a gross little surfer boy who smells like sea salt over there. Okay, go. Get lost, loser. I was wet from the sea, but I felt like I was sweating. There were people all around us, and she just totally humiliated me. Made me feel small. My heart broke a little. But then something happened that I never thought would happen to me in real life. A beautiful woman pushed through the crowd and handed me her card. "Hi, Julie Hopkins. I represent Woolcom. Saw you out there, and I'd like to officially offer you a place at our program. I think you have amazing potential." Ha! Potential to have no future, more like. Come, girls. The air has gone stale, probably from being close to this loser. They left, but I didn't care one iota. Woolcom was the foremost brand in the surfing world. They had talents all over the globe, and they were a huge sponsor during competitions. I spent half my days in school where I was miserable, but at night and on weekends I traded Woolcom with all the veteran surfers of the world. And in 1 year, I was able to join my first ever competition. and I made it into the finals. I became the youngest competitor to be among the lineup in the championship. Wolcom flew me for free, provided me with a luxurious hotel suite at a private resort, and paid for every meal. I met so many awesome people from all over the world, and that weekend, Julie and I went on our first date, and we kissed as we watched a tropical sunset. It was magical. And when I finally went out into the water, I was on track to get the gold medal. But just as I was about to complete my run, I saw one of my fiercest competitors get thrown face first into the water. His board somersaulted in the air and took him with it, and then his leash snapped. I could hear the terrified groans and screams from the audience on the shore. I saw the gold medal within my grasp, but when I looked back, I saw my fellow surfer struggling against gigantic waves. I had practiced on that water for months before the competition. I knew the dangers, and I knew I couldn't just leave him out there to run aground in the reef. I turned around. People gasped, and then applause broke out when they realized what I was doing. He was my fiercest rival. He would have beaten me to the gold medal if he hadn't lost control. But I still rowed back to him. I fished him out of the water, and I paddled like our lives depended on it. And soon we escaped the wild waves and were back on shore. The paramedics took my rival away, and he was brought to the hospital. I lost that day, but the crowd took me and carried me over their heads, chanting my name. I felt like I made my country proud that day. People were calling me a hero. I had to give 6 interviews with the excited news crews before I could even get to see my coach. I knew he'd be disappointed that I let a gold medal slip. I was afraid Wolcom would drop me from their stables. I made peace with it. It was my lifelong dream, but I didn't want to leave my morals behind just for a gold medal. Coach, I'm really sorry. I know I screwed up, but...
Screwed up? Are you kidding me? You're a sensation, kid. You see those judges up there?
Yeah?
The moment you turned around to rescue that Indonesian surfer, they all stood up from their seats and cheered. The whole thing sent goosebumps all over. Look, my hair's still on end. You, son, are a true champion. And you may not have won the gold today, but you've certainly won everyone's hearts.
There were no silvers or bronzes that day. Technically, they had to disqualify us, and the third runner-up was given the gold. I may have sacrificed a medal, but Coach was right. I made headline news. People praised me on the street, on social media. Every news outlet was reporting on what I did. I even made it to the international news, and they were playing the footage of the rescue. I got calls from major outdoor and sports brands. The moment I got home, a parade greeted me, and I was lauded as a hometown hero. I was brought to the mayor's place, and she gave me the keys to the city. She even gave me a grant to open up a surf school. And that came right at the right moment, because when they heard of what I did, the entire town suddenly wanted to learn how to surf. I became a prominent surf instructor at the age of 19, and all those guys who used to belittle and call me dumb, well, now they're studying under me and pay me handsomely, of course. No discount for former classmates, no matter how hard they try to tell me that we used to be friends. My parents were very proud of my achievements, especially because now I got to prove my cousin and aunts and uncles wrong who used to say I had no future. They said I would be a disappointment, but here they are asking me for free lessons. Funniest of all is that Eloise now regrets rejecting me so publicly. She's been DMing me nonstop for weeks, and she thinks I don't know, but I know she's been telling everyone on her Insta-Kilo stories and her Twitter that we're together. Eloise wanted to ride my coattails, and it worked for a while. A lot of people believed her. She even got mentioned on my wiki page, until I had it taken down. The next year, another championship title came to my town. We were a small island. We didn't even have a hotel. But thanks to my reputation, Woolcom was able to bring such a prestigious competition there. The whole town supported me. They all cheered me on and told me I would win this time. They came out in droves and watched on the beach, and they were right. That time, I did win the gold. I was so happy, I cried. And the townspeople took me on their shoulders and carried me around like a king. They carried me to the podium, and when the judges slipped the gold medal over my head and onto my neck, I felt the happiest I'd ever felt in my life. Now, every girl in town wanted to be my girl. There was a tradition in that competition where the winners get to call up their girlfriends for a kiss. Eloise pushed all the other girls aside and climbed up the stage. "Get off! Get away! Champion's girlfriend coming through!" A reporter shoved her mic into my face and excitedly asked about Eloise. "So, is this the girl we've all been hearing about? You know there's a rumor that there's a special someone in your life that you've been keeping under wraps." I don't know her. It was a 15-second clip. Little did I know that interview would one day be played over and over on WooTube Shorts and PicPoc, that it would go absolutely viral, that countless memes would be posted with Eloise's face of shock in them. People said that I completely bodied her and sent her to the void that day, and I'm not mad about that at all. After Eloise was taken down off the stage, I smiled at that reporter again, and I told her who it was that truly made my heart skip a beat. I brought Julie up on stage and kissed her, the talent scout who changed my life forever.